All right, we are on the air. We'll give some folks a minute or two to file in. Want to make sure my chat is set up so I can actually read it on the side there. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to load up my pipe. But first, 9mm filter. Savinelli 320 unfinished. This pipe has gotten much love recently. Much love. I think tonight I'm going to smoke a couple of little bricklets of Cornell and Deal's Night Train. I've been smoking through this. It came in one giant kind of brick or cube, and I broke it up into these little bricklets just so I can more easily rub out one or two of those and get a pipe loaded up. All right. So we got matches in the house. Everybody wants to know about the 320s. I don't know when the 320s will be back in stock. You guys will know when I find out. I'll either make a video or I'll send out a newsletter blast from the site. So you guys make sure you're signed up to that newsletter. All right, we got a few folks filing in. Walter and Matches are about to get into fisticuffs over some chair that's not here. Is there another chair? I don't see another chair in the shot, you guys. All right. Well, I've got some tobacco ready to load up. So you guys, I sent out, or I created the live stream tonight with a new name, and I went and edited the old live stream Hangouts. So I think Wednesday nights is going to work the best for me to do a weekly live stream. And I thought it'd be cute to call it Wednesday Night Lights. So welcome to Wednesday Night Lights. And I don't have anybody lined up to take part in the Hangout. So this may be a Hangout of one. But that's fine. We'll just sit here and smoke together. You guys can just ask me some questions or what have you. John, I don't know about my Logitech. I wonder if we got the same model, because this one sure wants to autofocus at weird times. But I'm going to make the best of it. I really wish I could just use my phone to do this, but apparently you can't. Let me pour a tasty beverage. All right. Hey, Derek. Well, Derek, I wish you could stick around for a little while so you could be on the Hangout with me. You are on the list, sir. This night train needs to dry out a tad, so while I'm smoking, I just keep the tin open. Yeah, Derek, anytime you want to be on the show, let me know. I think it'd be great to hang out with you again. Oh no. Look at that, it's on fire. That doesn't happen much if it's not an aromatic tobacco. How's that for entertainment? Yeah, this thing doesn't want to focus. I mean, I guess if I were closer in, it does a little bit better at keeping me in focus. But it's not amazing by any stretch. Of course, I'm hitting the servers at Google Hangouts, and then I'm hitting the servers at YouTube. See what the YouTube feed looks like. It's not that bad. Maybe I'll just shut my big mouth. Yeah, what is everyone smoking tonight? Benjamin Lovelace asks. Benjamin, your name rings a bell. I think I sent you a package out today, or maybe yesterday. Or maybe we were emailing today. Bothy flake from Yardism. I've never tried the bothy flake. Oak Alley's a good one. Brett is enjoying. Well, no one came forward. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I posted this as a live stream that was going to happen in the future. So I went ahead and posted it on the channel with the addendum, a little description that if you wanted to take part in a Hangout, to send me your information via text message. But I didn't get any takers. So this may be a very short one tonight. Derek Tant, I'll let that slide, but it actually made me approve your message before it would post. Naughty boy. So in any case, if you guys want to be on this Hangout or a future Hangout, you're going to have to let me know by sending me a text message. And I can never remember that number. Let me look it up. You can text to 850-610-2032. I'll put that in the bucket or in the messages. There we go. So what I would like to do, because I don't want to wind up with all of these Hangouts to be, 10, 15 minutes of me just talking to the camera, asking for takers. I'd really like to line up guests for the Hangout beforehand. So hopefully we can get in the rhythm of that. I would like to have I would like to have at least one other person aside from me, but one or two people each week. I think that would be cool. What do you guys think of the name Wednesday Night Lights? I thought it was a little clever. Michael, the guests on the Hangout don't necessarily have to be YouTubers. They can just be anybody who's in here with us that has used Google Hangouts before. You've got your Google Hangouts account set up either on your phone or on your computer, and you can easily accept an invite from a Hangout. So you don't have to be a YouTube presenter. I think, hey, there's John Galdieri. I really hope I'm saying your name right. Odie, if you want to hang out, you have to send me your information to that phone number. Just send me a text message. I would need your email address that is affiliated with your Google account so I can send you a Google Hangout invitation. Uh-oh. I packed a little dense here. This thing's going to give me trouble. I wonder if there's any controls for this camera because I really don't like that it keeps going in and out of focus. I'll see if I back up a little bit if it'll put things more in focus. This is going to test my vision though to read those comments. All right, let's put away the night train. Night train has Burley, Virginia, Perique, and Black Cavendish. I think I've mentioned before, and I'm actually going to try to loosen up the bottom of this bowl. I think I mentioned before that those are, aside from the Cavendish, which it's debatable whether the Cavendish is actually in there or not, because I don't really taste it, and some sites don't include Cavendish on the components, but it's very close to the component tobaccos for Haunted Bookshop. But this is a much more tame blend than Haunted Bookshop. Better, okay. There we go. Yardism says, I'm sure there's a way to lock focus. I wish I could figure it out. Oh, let's do this. Let's try to post the link. See if you guys can join. Oh, that's the YouTube page. Never mind. I thought I could send you the Google Hangout link. Oh, John's looking. Maybe he knows how to lock focus on this thing. We got the same webcam, if not a very similar model of webcam. Grizzly Smoke, doing good, man. Well, I hate that I'm sitting here looking through settings again live on camera. I certainly don't mean this to be your entertainment for the evening. But then again, I've never tried to create a show. You guys know me. I just sit here and smoke my pipe and talk about what's on the top of my head. Usually. Michael, the West Parlor is my garage. That is the shameful truth of it all. I try not to mention that too awful much. But this is where I normally smoke. It's also, I have my shipping station for the web store against the other wall. Oh, Benjamin, thanks so much. I appreciate that. You can shut autofocus off in the settings. John, is that in the Google Hangouts window settings or elsewhere? John, it would be a garage band if I played in the West Parlor. I don't do that too awful much. Typically, I play in my house when I play, which is rare these days. Logitech Capture. So Matches says Logitech Capture. I guess that's the software that I should download. I'm on a Mac. Hopefully, it's available. Odie, I'd be happy to take part in that. Um, I don't have the time through the week to set up a panel like that. It would be really cool if we had 4 or 5 people here in the Hangout with us tonight, but it takes a lot of planning to get that many schedules together. So best of luck to you, man. I know it's going to be difficult. I hit up 2 or 3 people for this Hangout tonight, and it just didn't work out for anyone. John, my camera came in a small box. Let me go get it. There we go. This is what I got. The Logitech C922X Pro Stream webcam that won't even focus on its own box. So maybe you just got a better camera than I did, but there's no CD that comes in here. Maybe the instructions will have a link to install. So I'll look for it. Well, let's see. Let me look up Logitech. No, John, I don't. Oh, here's Logitech camera settings. Let's see. Maybe it's an app that I have to install from the App Store. Wouldn't that be crazy? I don't think it's going to work with this model. Anyway, I didn't mean to stretch that out. Guys, I stayed home today. I wasn't feeling so great, but I'm doing better now. But I got my packages boxed up earlier than normal. That was good. Recorded a video that I think I'm going to post on Saturday. All right, John. I'll send you an invite if you want to do it. Night Train is smoking pretty well now. So Yardism asks, when is the last time I got tongue bite? Um, Probably the last time I smoked a non-filtered pipe. um, Actually, no, I'm very careful with what tobaccos I smoke in non-filtered pipes. So it's been a little while, but I had something nipping at me the other day. I'm trying to think of what it was. Um, could have been Peterson's Nutty Cut. And then I remembered I didn't put the filter in. So I am, I think, more susceptible to tongue bite than most people in the YTPC. So I got to be careful. But, you know, when I'm using a 9mm charcoal filter, I don't ever have to worry about tongue bite, which is great. Oh, matches, that's all right. Some other time. Yardism, what's your story with tongue bite? Do you have to deal with it a good bit? Or anybody else? You guys have trouble with tongue bite? That's actually the topic of the video I'm going to post on either Friday or Saturday. I think I hammered it into the ground with a 20-minute video. Some soggy Elizabethan, gotcha. Hmm. Benjamin, do you go by Ben? I don't want to keep calling you Benjamin if your friends call you Ben. Let me know. Yardism, that is a good point. And you know, when I use a filter, typically I'm puffing like a freight train with my night train. I got more ice than beverage there. Okay, Mr. Lovelace goes by Adam. I will try to remember that. But because your channel name is Benjamin, it's going to be a trick for me to remember, oh, that means Adam. But I think if I recall, that's your middle name. Odie asks if I ever tried the HH Balkan blend. I've tried everything in the HH line, and I carry everything in the HH line. Everything that's available still, anyway. The vintage Syrian, I do believe, is gone. And the Balkan blend is a good replacement. I mean, it's very similar. I think it's a very similar recipe. It just doesn't have that Syrian Latakia. Anybody else? Any thoughts as to that or comments as to your experience with the Balkan blend versus the vintage Syrian? I'd be curious to know. I thought they were fairly similar. Yeah, that Captain Clinch says he's smoking Peterson's Balkan Delight, and there's no chance of tongue bite with that. I would agree. I mean, because I'm more susceptible to tongue bite, I have to be very careful. But English blends, by and large, don't affect me that way. Depending on the cut, if it's a nice ribbon cut, Latakia blend, I typically don't have to worry. What stinks about that is Latakia blends aren't my, they aren't my first pick. most of the time. I have to be in the mood for it. I'll tell you, the McBaron Virginia #1 is my mortal enemy. That was the worst tongue bite that I've ever had, was from McBaron's Virginia #1. Virginia blends in general just get to me, but there's something that it's topped or cased with that just lit me on fire. I couldn't hardly taste the next day, and my mouth was pretty raw for 2 days. So if I ever smoke that again, it's definitely going to be filtered. Yeah, all of the McBaron HH blends are fantastic. There are some other McBaron blends. They've probably got about 40 or 50 blends on the market, I think. So I carry a very small amount of that, but I think the HH series is the best example of what they can do with blends. Hey, Quaker Piper. Hopefully the angry face emoji was a typo. Hit us up with a smiley face, Quaker Piper. Don't make enemies in the YTPC. Kevin Williams, you just got a 10 of vintage Syrian. If you like Latakia blends, I think you'll like it. It's one of the better ones I've smoked. The thing with me about Latakia blends is by and large, most of them taste the same. And I know that's kind of like saying, well, all country music sounds the same. I think a lot of it does. There's very little room for variation these days. Or like all metal music sounds the same, or, all rap music sounds the same. Fans will tell you that's not true, but people who aren't into it will tell you that's the case. And that's kind of like me and Latakia blends. There are very few standout Latakia blends for me. The Pirate Cake would be one. People love Quiet Nights, but I didn't really like Quiet Nights. That's why I've been so impressed with these Captain Earl blends. That way. I've really been smoking through those Captain Earl's blends with Latakia and really enjoying most of them. There's one that's a least favorite of mine. I think it was the Diamond Head, which was one of the medium Latakia blends. Just wasn't as differential, wasn't as distinctive to me as the others. But that could just be me. Odie says McBaron has 69 blends on the market. Wow. I didn't know they had that many. Uh, I don't know how to pronounce your first name, but Wang Ching Ding asks, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name, as a retailer, is it easier for me to get Esoterica? That's a good question, and the answer is no. I don't even know where to find Esoterica blends. I don't know if they have a distributor or if I would have to order directly from them. I've never looked into it. But I would not imagine it would be any easier for me, especially as a small retailer. Oh, excuse me, I got the burps. Benjamin, or I'm sorry, Adam, that one-eyed Willie at Smoker's Abbey. I think I can't remember what it is, but a lot of house blends are typically lane renames or rebrands. So it could have been a lane mix. What did it taste like? 75% Latakia. What was that in reference to? I know the pirate cake is 75% Latakia. That's the strongest blend I've found as far as Latakia goes. Anything above that, you might as well be smoking straight Latakia, most likely. Hey, Law Dog. You know, Law don't go around here, Law Dog. Yeah, Cornell and Deal probably is the king of blends right now, Odie. 214 plus. I knew they had at least 150. Um, that's why it's really hard for me to keep track of a manageable number of blends to offer from them. Yardism asks the top two or three non-pipe channels that I enjoy. Uh, that's tricky. I used to watch a lot of Good Mythical Morning. I've kind of trailed off of that, but it is always enjoyable when I watch it. Usually enjoyable when I watch it. I still listen to those guys. They do a podcast called Ear Biscuits that I listen to while I'm packing orders on Monday nights. Probably my favorite YouTube channel right now is Red Letter Media. And if you guys have never heard of Red Letter Media, they make pretty offbeat um, review videos of new movies and old movies. They do like little skits and stuff too. It's really funny. They have a segment that they do called Wheel of the Worst, where they have this huge VHS collection and they select three videos for the night and watch those three movies. And then you get a brief rundown of the three movies. And there's a panel of three or four guys and they riff off of each other, and it's super, super funny. Not for the faint of heart, not the kind of thing I'd watch with my kids. But very funny stuff. And their videos are typically a bit longer. They're usually anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Captain Clinch, I haven't heard about April as far as them resuming production on Peterson blends, but I have heard we're going to have them back on the market by the end of the year. So that would make sense that they'd start production in April or thereabouts. Trying to think of a third non-pipe channel. Probably Metal Jesus Rocks. He is a retro game collector, like a video game collector. Makes a lot of different videos on different consoles and video games down through the years. And he's got a motley crew of guest stars in the Portland, Oregon area that come on the show with him, and most of them at this point have their own YouTube channels. One of them owns a game store called Pink Gorilla Games in the area up there. And then they have Radical Reggie, Drunken Master Paul, the immortal John Hancock, all these very interesting, unique characters in the video game collecting world. But his channel is the biggest of them, and definitely the hub of the others. All right, let's see. So that's 3. Kevin Williams says, I visited Smoker's Abbey in Nashville on my last trip there. Cool little shop. The guy told me they don't blend their tobaccos, at least not at the moment. So yeah, it probably is just Lane blends, bulk blends from Lane. Benjamin Loveless. So Adam, sorry. So you're talking about Mystery Science Theater 3000, where the guy and his 2 or 3 robot friends would watch the old bad movies. It's similar to that, but it's much less scripted than that. I mean, they will film themselves watching all 3 of those best of the worst movies, and then they will, clip together the best clips and make a show out of it. Pretty funny. Oh, another YouTube channel I really like is Comic Book Girl 19. And I think you guys see a trend here. I really like nerdy stuff, video games, comic books, Marvel movies, that kind of stuff. But Comic Book Girl 19, and she's not 19, she's like in her 30s, but she makes a pretty good bit of videos about different movies and comic book, not necessarily comic books, but comic movies. And she talks mostly about movies. I don't watch all that many movies, but I do make a point to watch all the Marvel movies that have come out. Just like I don't collect comics anymore, but I do still like the movies. Law Dog, I am definitely a gamer. And actually, I started a YouTube channel last weekend called House of Ed, and I made a video about that, so look for that. But I do have a second channel now. I don't know how much time I'll be able to devote to it, but because it's a passion project and I'm excited about it this week, I've put several videos up. Mostly, well, right now I'm focusing on mobile games because that's the first screen capture I've been able to figure out. Let's see. Law Dog Piper asks, do you have a favorite English? Do I have a favorite English? I mean, I've really been smoking a good bit of the pirate cake lately. Well, not lately, maybe in the past year. I do like the pirate cake. And when I think of Latakia, that's the first one that comes to mind. But again, I've recently discovered these Captain Earl's blends. That one does not have Latakia. But this Reflections blend, if it'll focus, it will not. But this is Reflections from Captain Earl. Very light Latakia blend. I would put it up against Squadron Leader, and I would say it's the better blend. This is my favorite Latakia blend in the series at the moment. Mystic blend. I would still call it a light English, but I think it's got a bit more Latakia in it than Reflections does. And then the Night Watch is a good solid medium Latakia blend. Are you going to focus? Let's see. Let me catch up on the reading. Yeah, Adam. So I'm playing through this Iron Maiden video game. It's a mobile game on my phone and on my iPad. Pretty fun. If you're into Maiden, I would say check it out. Just don't throw a ton of money at it because the store in that game is just ridiculous for a mobile game. For any game, to be honest with you. But you can play it without spending a dime. Hashtag pipe time. I do like the Balkans, but again, I don't smoke a lot of Kia anywhere near as much as I smoke, Burley-based blends, Virginia-based blends, blends heavy in Perique, dark fired. I sound like a broken record here, but and Orientals. I really like Orientals. That's one thing I like about these Captain Earls is every single one of these blends has Orientals in it. It's the one thread that I've seen through all 8 of their blends. Yeah, Lunchbox says smoking pirate cake around people is always an interesting experience. Yeah, I don't do that. When I smoke pirate cake here in the West Parlor and then I go inside, my wife is not happy with me. It just sticks to your clothes. Chris Adams asks, he says, he knows I like cobs, but have I ever smoked a clay pipe? I have a tavern pipe. I don't even know if you can see it. It's actually behind these pipes up here in the box. I've smoked it a couple of times. But no, I mean, not a lot. I bought a smaller clay pipe a while back and wound up selling it because it smoked so hot. It was a smaller pipe. I thought I could hold the bottom of the bowl. They get so hot. You have to hold it by the stem or the shank, you know, which, it'd be like me holding my pipe like this all the time. I just didn't want to do that, so I sold it. Odie Jones, I haven't heard of the Matches 860 recipe. You'll have to tell me what that is. Oh, you did. Let's see. 1 pound haunted bookshop, 1 pound pirate cake. Hmm, that might be interesting. I think I've actually done that, not with a pound each. What I do is I take a little pinch of one thing and a little pinch of another thing, blend it together to make one bowl. Haunted pirate. That might be cool. I know I've made haunted detective, or no, pirate detective, which was the Sherlock Holmes Peterson blend and pirate cake. And some people would say pirate cake is too much Latakia. They would also say that exclusive from Cornell and Deal is too much Perique. So I've been known to blend those two together to kind of mitigate how much Latakia and Perique is in the blend. So exclusive in pirate cake, what would that be like? Selective pirate? Um, Adam, what is that Devil's Holiday flavored with? What does it taste like? I haven't tried it. Hey, Doomsday Piper. Law Dog Piper asks if there's an advantage between a 9mm over a 6mm filtered pipe if you don't use a filter. There's not one. If you don't use a filter, neither one of them is going to be beneficial over the other. But between the two, I would greatly prefer a 9mm filtered pipe. Like this. And whether you're using charcoal or balsa, even the balsa filters, let's see. Do I have a 6mm balsa filter out here? No. Oh, here we go. So here's a standard 6mm balsa filter. It's just this little triangular cut of wood. 3 surfaces. But then if you go with the 9mm pipe, this is the Savinelli 9mm filter. Much more surface area the way that they cut it. It is not gonna, this camera does not want to focus. And you see, there we go. There's a lot more surface area with all of that curvature. So this does a lot more, I think, to mitigate the heat, vapor, and a smoke. So the Devil's Holiday is a mild smoke with a slight berry and honey. Doesn't sound bad. All right, Brandon Edwards has a question. I know you don't sell tobacco to Canada, but I remember buying a pipe off your site a while back. Was wondering if you still ship pipes and accessories to Canada. Well, I took that option off the site because some of my customers have been slammed with tariffs, and people keep telling me that's just the nature of buying internationally. And most people that purchase things internationally, they know the risks. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But I didn't want to make people unhappy that way, so I just decided not to ship to Canada. Now, if you really, really, really want to take that risk, send me an email and I can send you a PayPal invoice for whatever you want to purchase. And we'll do it that way. Let's see. Yeah, Chris, those 6mm charcoal filters that I carried from White Elephant, I took them down. I took them off the site. I had too many people saying that the draw was too constrictive, and I've personally had that experience and had to throw a few of those filters away. Just yank it out of the pipe, and I've actually had some of them get stuck in my pipes, and it was a bear to get them out. So I just took them down from the site. I will smoke them eventually, but it'll take me a little while. Well, I'm down to the bottom of this bowl. So we'll wrap it up here in a minute or two. Lunchbox, luxury bullseye flake. It's good stuff. Yardism, I appreciate that. It's one of the reasons I don't currently carry Peterson blend or Peterson pipes is because I personally have not had good luck with Peterson pipes. I've had 3 in the past. None of them became my favorites. None of them were bad pipes by any means, but I am going to look into Peterson in the future because there are so many fans and people ask me about it from time to time. But I've got to be able to connect with the brand. So if I don't, I'll probably order a few sample pipes. And if none of them strikes me as a great smoker or one that I'm drawn to, I probably won't carry them. Chris Adams asked if I'll be doing this every Wednesday. I cannot commit to every Wednesday, but I think Wednesday is going to be the night that I go live. Either at this time, I'll do it at 6 p.m. Central Time or possibly 8 p.m. Central Time. I'll probably have to play around with those times and see what works best for me. Cam 5 FC. I've heard, well, you ask about the good news about Peterson. I've heard that Peterson Pipes was bought by one group and Peterson Tobaccos was bought by another group, and the tobaccos will be coming back by the end of the year. That's all I know. Wildcat Sam is asking about a vintage tobacco tin section in my site. Probably not. Probably not, because I don't deal personally in vintage tobacco tins. Um, and that would be a lot to try and source that from individuals and offer it. The Pipe Nook has taken up a pretty good bit of my free time at this point, so I really don't have the extra time to take on a pet project like that. When the forums already do a decent job with things like that. Odie asks for a Savinelli all-around best for money. That would be the Series 3s. I mean, the Series 3 pipes are great. They're not the prettiest. This one's darkened up a good bit. They're not the prettiest, but they smoke very, very well. And they're $60, $65. Cam, somebody mentioned earlier that manufacturing will start back in April. So that would be next month. But that may mean tobaccos won't hit the stores until September or so at the earliest, would be my guess. You don't want them to start manufacturing it and then shipping it out the next week, trust me. All right. Well, we're closing in on an hour, so let's cut it off just under an hour. This pipe's about to go out on me, so we will leave it at that. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, even though I didn't have a special guest, at least not on camera. But I appreciate all the input, all the questions and comments. I will try to do this again next Wednesday at either 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll chat with you guys later. Bye.